This session is all about getting the most out of RaceJoy. RaceJoy's key features are around live participant tracking, and that's using GPS tracking of the person's phone. And also with that, we're able to provide GPS-based progress alerts at every mile on the course without timing equipment. And then we also engage with the participant by enabling them to be able to send audio cheer messages to participants. Talking about getting the most out of RaceJoy, the number one foundational key message from this session is making sure your map is accurate. If your map isn't accurate, RaceJoy won't function properly. So we want to make sure that your start and finish are accurate at the exact spot that you expect them to be. If things change, let us know. You can also change the map very easily through your dashboard. And we also want to make sure your mile markers are accurate so that the experience that a participant is having on the ground matches up to what they experience in the app. So we want them to be able to get those progress alerts, the audio alerts in RaceJoy, while they're passing your mile markers that you have positioned on the ground. We don't want them getting them later or prematurely, otherwise they're going to get frustrated. So you may need to adjust your map once it gets loaded. And it's very easy to move the markers on the map. We have all sorts of video, but this you could even just figure out yourself by just clicking it and moving it. You may need to adjust your mile markers. If you have a certified map where your mile markers are positioned, feel free to share that with us, and we have our map people will do a quality check. So the second kind of foundational message that we like to share is making sure that you let people know that you are offering RaceJoy. So the more that they're aware of it, the more your usage will be. And if you have a sponsor, then this is key. And we provide you with promotional tools. We have a promotion toolkit with our content samples and also different graphics that you can use. And the most effective ways to get the awareness built around RaceJoy is having a specific runner tracking section on your website about RaceJoy, and also having targeted emails go out, as well as having social media posts the week of the race. The week of the race is when they're most engaged to find out about runner tracking. We'll see the usage start to build, and it grows overnight, like the night before the race. If you're a RunSignUp customer, then you also are able to send emails through your dashboard. We have templates preloaded for you, so it's super easy. You can just activate this to go out. They're scheduled by default to go out 7 days prior to the event and then 2 days prior to the event. But you can adjust these and drop in a sponsor logo or whatever message that you want to. You also have custom content sections. So this is now, let's take it a step further. You built the awareness, your maps are right. Now let's build out your content pages. So you have an info section that you can add information to. You could add logos. You could add videos, however you want. This is really up to you how far you want to take it. Otherwise, by default, we'll use whatever you have in the system about your race. You can then build out the schedule of events section and an FAQ. These are very handy areas for your participants and spectators to quickly access this information on race day. You can also add banner ads, as shown here, like with the Boilermaker. So it's nice to have a race branded banner ad, and then you can have sponsor banner ads. If you have other events that you'd like to cross-promote, then this is a great way to do that. It will link out to wherever you want to have that link go to. If you have a fundraiser, you can have a Donate Now button as well. With RunSignUp customers, you will automatically get a Register Here banner ad that will appear so they can register within the app.
So the little key thing there to really highlight is that you have a mobile app. You didn't have to spend $10,000 to build it, and you're also providing runner tracking. So we've given you the capability of really building out a very custom content and branded experience within RaceJoy. So we call it the app within the app approach. Really lowers the cost point for you to provide a mobile experience for your event. But in terms of taking it to the next level of the map, one of the things that we've invested heavily in is becoming a Google Maps premium partner. This is core foundational technology that we have with our runner tracking, and we want to make this technology, again, available to you. And it's all about enabling you through technology, again, going back to our core mission. And so, this is something, it's a very important asset for you, right? Having to manage the course, you have to manage this asset every year, you have to manage changes. Well, why don't I give you a tool where you can manage that in one place on your dashboard by year, and then not only do that, but be able to share that in different things. And so we do a lot of neat things with the the building of an interactive map. The other key point here to understand about a map is that during the race, you think about the ratio of spectator to participants, and on average we see 1.5 to 1 is the ratio you see in RaceJoy. You have an audience, a very important audience that are spectators that are sitting there looking at your map, looking at the experience of your map, and thinking about your event. Now, I do a lot of this, and so I have to say that a lot of times I'm looking at some of these events and saying, wow, that looks like a really cool thing. Maybe I'll go drag a street view thing in, or I'll go look at like a satellite view. And so the next thing you know is spectators sitting there for sometimes 5 or 6 hours watching their loved one move through a marathon. They're now really experiencing what it is in the area. We have stories of people from all over the world watching people in different areas of the country doing events. And so, you really are providing a real-time experience that's based on your event, your locale. Why not blow that out there? Let's start adding some markers. Let's do some different things with your map. So we give you the tools that you can add special markers. You can really showcase the services that you provide. Maybe you're doing something special during your event that you want to showcase. And so each one of those markers has the ability to be added additional graphics, and links, and so forth. And so as a spectator sitting there just clicking on stuff, and, wow, all of a sudden you've blown up and shown them something new about your locale. So really think about, again, the sessions about getting the most out of RaceJoy. You have a very powerful tool here that you can leverage for your event in terms of building this out. And so one of the things that we'd like to tell stories, we started working with an event out in Colorado, Colfax. So Andrea was really like, wow, this is so amazing. Like I used to have to go do all this stuff over here and have to create these PDF documents and stuff. She's like, oh my gosh, I can like totally use this on my website. And I just totally said, absolutely. So the idea from those conversations was, let's make it really easy for you to create these shareable links. You can just put it in an iframe and just embed it right into your website. So by default, if you're using RunSignUp, that happens automatically. You don't have to do anything. So on your websites that you build out RunSignUp right now, you'll see a new menu, course maps. And anytime you enable RaceJoy, your course maps are all up there. It's all live interactive maps that you're maintaining. So here's an example of Colfax. She's embedded the map right into her page, and it's all live. We have elevation, and that can be also updated. So taking the mapping, and this again, to the next level, right? So now you've given us a course. You've given us the key milestones. You've lined it up. The participant experience is great. They're running along the clock. They're getting good progress alerts. Let's take it to the next level. What about, there's something really neat about what I'm running by. So if you guys did the morning run this morning, we had these historical geo messages being delivered as people were going through the 5K this morning. Really cool, right? I didn't even know that I was running by this residential street that is the oldest residential street in the country. I'm just running down the street. Really interesting information. So we have definitely been seeing events. We're going to show you an example here in a minute where they've taken that concept and tailored it to the experience. So we recently worked with the Kentucky Derby Marathon, right? The key kind of iconic thing that happens during that marathon is that you get to run through Churchill Downs. And it's like the week before the Derby, right? Big year this year, we got the Triple Crown winner, really cool. Let's kind of build up the experience. So a big part of their experience is they have a special song. Oh, the sun shines bright. So can you imagine? You're about to enter Churchill Downs. You're just running along, you didn't even expect this. And all of a sudden this song comes on, and you know this is the song, right? It's kind of cool, right?
They loved it, just loved it.
Did it experience of Miss Jewel as well?
I did look up Miss Jewel. Cheers.
Enjoy your run through Churchill Downs.
So another thing that can be done with this, again, without using straight advertising, you want to build up the experience for your participants, is, again, combine the theme, course theme and stuff, but with a sponsor. And so you can make it fun. You can make it kind of funny. Okay, so towards the end of the race, they said, you know what, let's do something kind of funny, kind of light in the mood. It's tough, right? Mile 20. Let's have something like this happen. I mean, come on, yeah, right? I'm like not feeling it right now.
You can do it. We know you can. But you're from Dick's Sporting Goods.
It's a little encouragement, ties in your sponsor. Again, very creative things can be done with this and still make for a nice experience for your participant. So again, the power of technology, RunSignUp, RaceJoy, we're all about building tools that let you build and have the experience that you want. Whether or not you're a small race with 250 people or you're the Boilermaker with 15,000, you all should have the same race experience. And so through RunSignUp, you have mobile results. All you have to do is enable RaceJoy. Now you have a mobile experience, you have a custom content app, you're delivering mobile results immediately as they finish, and you guys don't have to do anything. You just have to use the platform. We've done all the work of integration. If you're using RunSignUp results, you're pushing results through your timing interface, it shows immediately live results on your phone. So those participants are getting a really great experience, right? It's like I get my live tracking, I get my progress alerts, I'm done, I look down at my phone, there's my score result. And we've also integrated with the photo platform, so now the photos are posting, again, you don't have to do anything, the banner comes up automatically, when they're looking at the result, they click on the banner, it takes them straight to their photos.
Yeah, to their personal photos, so they don't have to do search for the photos. So, sponsor advertising, we get a lot of questions about this. You know, what are the ways that we can showcase a sponsor? So we actually have a video that is designed specifically for you all to share with your potential sponsors, so you can use that. And it covers all of these key points. And we've touched on all of these pretty much, but there's banner advertising, so you can showcase sponsors on the main race page. There's also custom content messages that you can sprinkle throughout the app. So all of the content areas, you can drop in a sponsor logo or say this experience is being provided by Walmart or what have you. The geo cheer points that we just covered, social media. We've had to adjust our approach with this because Facebook has changed their policy. So now the progress alerts that users are able to issue out on their walls can now only be through Twitter. But we still integrate with Facebook, so they are able to share that they're using RaceJoy at your event, and you're able to then showcase a sponsor when they share that. It just has to be that prompting has to come from the actual user of their own personal wall. We can't automatically do that for them for Facebook. The course map markers that James covered, and then progress alerts. This is actually where the most value is received for your sponsors. And when we issue out progress alerts, they go out typically at every mile, and they get an alert goes out like this. So it appears as an in-app notification, and it's a great way to showcase a sponsor. Again, you have 1.5 to 2 people tracking a runner, and with each of those progress alerts that go out, you can showcase a sponsor. And the most progress alerts that we've ever issued, I believe, is 109,000 at a single event. So that is a lot of progress alerts, and it's a lot of awareness for a potential sponsor. So not only are these live alerts that are going out, we also store the alerts for the runner or the cyclist to go back and review at any time, and also for spectators. And they do. They go back through their performance the days afterwards, so it gives them kind of that extended recognition. You also have communications tools within RaceJoy, and we get a lot of interest around this, especially post Boston and so forth. Ways to communicate with your not only runners but also spectators. You have an official race communications tool within your dashboard, and this is where you can schedule news alerts to go out the week of the race, the day of the race. You can pre-schedule alerts. We have some races like Glass City Marathon will do contingency planning, and they'll preload possible news alerts to go out. You can add whatever, they're definitely flexible with the type of media that you want to include. So you can add images, you can add video, links, or what have you. They are sent out as an in-app notification, and again, it goes out to all spectators, participants, anyone that's accessed your race in RaceJoy. And then it gets housed into the Buzz Bucket area, and then they can review the news alert at any time. The other communications tool is our audio communications tool, and that is within your race day monitoring system, which James is going to go through. But this is a way to communicate directly live with individuals, to participants, and also maybe to all participants of a particular course. And this is a great way to respond to anything contextual that is going on race weekend. So say, for instance, you had something, some type of emergency, or you had to close the course due to lightning. We definitely have had races use RaceJoy to close down courses or help close down courses. So this would be an example of that.
Alert, we are closing the course due to lightning.
Please proceed to the nearest aid station for instructions. A message from RaceJoy Marathon.
So it's super easy for you to do this. It's literally right on your dashboard, you type the message, that's it. And it's delivered to everybody in audio format. We take care of all the text to speech and getting it all out to folks. So as Shelly said, we also provide you as a race organizer or a timer a complete dashboard view of your event. And this is an area where, again, we're talking about getting the most out of RaceJoy. So you can just start with just doing the runner tracking. I've checked that off. I've got good runner tracking. But you know, what about the fact that you might want to have a little bit better view of your operations? And so taking it to the next level, getting the most out of RaceJoy, start to think about using this phone to track not only participants, but now I'm going to start tracking, key things about my race that help me right at a glance know what's going on. I'm going to put this on my lead bike. I'm going to put this on my stack. I'm going to go as far as one race we had where they put it on every single category, lead female, lead male, and really, at a glance, be able to see exactly what's happening on my race and really looking at that from a global view. And so we provide you a web console that's right under your dashboard, and you can track not only participants, but you can actually track your operational people. They just use this phone as a tracking device, and now you have a real live view of what's happening on your event. And so, again, you can track your operations people. Some events will actually just use RaceJoy. So the race director will be running around all over the place with their phone, and they've got their operations people loaded up, and they're just using it on their phone. So again, with the race day monitoring system, you have a global view of what's happening, and we really advanced this year. There's this button. Race directors love this. It's called Show Active. Literally, you just bring up the monitoring view. You don't have to think about what you do. You just click on Show Active, and we'll take care of showing you all the active people. When the people are finishing and stuff, those all go away. And so your blue dots is literally like it's a train of blue dots. You just see this blue dot train, and you see all these dots like going off and finishing, and then just the train finishes. It's a really cool view. And so we have a lot of events now. We're starting to take that monitoring view. We give you a full screen button. You just throw it up at the finish line. And it's just like, wow, look at this technology. And I'm finishing. We have this huge screen with this blue dot train going through the event. It's just technology. We're just providing it to you. And so again, in the race monitoring area, you can track your participants and you can track your staff. You have an at-a-glance view. We also see this as a very valuable tool for verifying. We just had Old Port Marathon up in Portland last week. Some participants happened, right? Tags don't read. They finished. The timer just totally pulled up, looked at the verification, looked at the GPS data, and said, GPS data, I replayed the path, checked, they ran the whole course, got a result, added to the score result, he's done, he goes home, he's done his job. He didn't even have to look at photo finish. So you can really use this tool as an extra data point for what you're doing as a timer. In addition to that, right up at a glance in your monitoring view, you have off-course alerts. This can save you. It's not just these big, long endurance events, these relays that we talked about earlier in an earlier session today. We had, a marathon. Key Boston qualifier where the participant, the whole lead train got pushed off by a volunteer half a mile. If they were using the system, we told the race director, right immediately, we would have been able to respond and get them, that situation addressed. So again, if you put the phone on your lead, you will always know where your lead is.
In the off-course alert system, it's by request, but you can have this go to the individual's phones. So if you want this to go to your participants' phones, if they get off course, just ask us. Then we just ask you to triple verify that your map is correct. And then we can do that. But they would get an audio alert if they get off course, and then they'll get back on course.
So we can, you don't only have to be involved, completely automated. We just tell the participants it's totally self-managed. We just need that, again, going back to step one today, one of the key takeaways. If you give us an accurate course map and certify that, then we can start to really do some neat things. So this is an example of the progress board. This is Boilermaker. We had 14,294 people. We had really good usage there. This is a live leaderboard. If you had your lead bike, it would show every 2 minutes right at the top. You know exactly where they were, how far they are, and you're good to go. So it's a really cool tool to use. You can export the data out and look at it afterwards. So it's another data verification. We are not about replacing timing. Again, I'll repeat that. We are not replacing timing. We are all about supplementing and adding in gaps of information.
So to recap things, the foundational takeaways would be making sure that your course map is correct, and promotion to ensure higher usage. And then your customization opportunities are the content and branding components, and we'll be adding more of those this coming year. And then shareable course maps, so you're making the most out of your maps, adding in those different mile markers and so forth, geo cheer points, and sponsor placements. And then on race day, you have results and photos and monitoring communications. So we know this is a lot, and we definitely see different races take advantage of the different components. You know, some kind of dabble in it the first year, and then they take on additional type of capabilities the following year. So let's open it up to any questions that you might have.
Yeah, is there a way we can do a test run of the course before the event?
Yeah, so it's a really interesting question. We've had some events in very extreme environments use our training days. So if you go to the main page of RaceJoy, there's this icon that says training days. It's an always-on event. And what we tell the race directors is just start it, and then have somebody that's sitting back in good cell conditions watch, and make sure that the cell coverage, basically the blue dot moves. You can actually use your vehicle and drive a course, and then you're just kind of verifying that coverage is good. So that's one answer. If you wanted to actually test the actual milestones, the geo points, we don't really have a way of doing that at this point in terms of like live, because that's basically like doing the event itself. So.
Oh, no, we do, but there is a cost for that. So.
Okay. So Shelly we do have it on pricing, and how much is it?
There's a test day, and I'm not sure, I think it's like $350, something like that.
So it's the problem is it's almost like the same effort as us doing the whole event and turning it all on.
So the training days is a lot more background. But just even speaking of that, if you know that you have poor cell conditions on your course, and there's certain pockets of that, if you let us know, we can put a graphic overlay on the map, and that kind of manages expectations for people.
But going back to the geo thing, there are geo points, there's a preview button. You can hit that, so you're totally previewing what the participant's been here. So that's on your console, so you can preview right from there. But in terms of like the actual GPS alerts going out, that's just,
Yeah, my thought is, you want us to verify that the points on the maps are right. It's hard to be standing at the point where the mile marker goes on a certified course and seeing if it matches with what you kind of want.
So in order to do that, this is a really cool tool, and we're actually thinking about adding it to RaceJoy, but we work with another company that does this. There's a really good app out there for doing this, and literally you can scan the point, you drop a point, and then you export that, and then you can compare that to what we show on your map, the coordinates, and you just compare the coordinates. But we're thinking about, like, wouldn't that be cool if you could just scan the point and look at our course map at the same time and see your thing. So that's a good suggestion.
So as far as the device telling the participant you're off course, how accurate is that? Is that based on the device itself?
So the default, it's configurable, and it depends on the event. The default configuration is 80 meters. Just think of it as a circle radius. And so as long as they're within 80 meters of the course that you provide us, we're within the bubble. And once they go outside that bubble, then now we're off course. And when they come back inside the bubble, we kind of reset. So it's just the way our technology works. Now, it's completely configurable. We work with this, some swimming events, believe it or not. We had this really cool swimming event, and they put a tracking device on every single paddle board that goes with the swimmer. And so the off-course bubble obviously is a lot bigger in open water swim.
I guess I was thinking an out and back course down one side of a block and then back the other side of the block. Depending on how big the village or city block is, 80 meters, they're still within that.
Absolutely. Yep.
Theoretically.
Yep. Exactly. Good question.
Any other questions? No questions, Bob?
I thought this was a kick-ass presentation. like the graphics on here and all the fancy tricks.
That's Catherine.
You guys did some work on this. So nice job.